Hi, this is Todd with ESOTERIC Car Care. Today we're going to be taking a look at the new Zipang Coat by KAMIKAZE Collection. Zipang Coat. For those of you who've been following KAMIKAZE Collection, following what we've been doing, or if you watched the video of ours at our open house when we had Kai Marita from KAMIKAZE in Japan over, we're talking a lot about the new Zipang Coat. Now this is the premium top-of-the-line technology product in the KAMIKAZE Collection lineup. Now, let's go back a little bit in history before we talk about this. Coatings with KAMIKAZE, that's their mainstay. That's what they're all about. Coating for paint, durability, and then the complete system that comes along with it for prepping the paint, coating, and maintaining it as well. So the first coatings that we tried here at ESOTERIC, Kai sent me their ISM coat, which was their top-of-the-line coating at the time. I tested it for about a year on my personal car. Absolutely loved how it worked, loved how it looked. It was added to the line with a lot of their other products. So you had Miyabi Coat, which is their best seller, and then you've got ISM Coat, which was the top of the line. Now ISM is still in the lineup because there's a coating for everybody depending on their wants, needs, and budgets that they're working with. From ISM, it went up to professional only series of coatings. You got Enri Coat, which is a two-part system. You had to be a certified detailer to be able to even offer that. And then there was ISM Pro. That's something that we didn't have here in the United States. It was sold a few other places around the world. Well, typical with Kai at KAMIKAZE Collection, he's constantly refining, constantly trying new things, constantly testing new technologies. Next thing to come along from that is Zipang Coat. And he looked at a lot of different areas of his current coatings and other coatings on the market to figure out how he could make it better. When it comes to coatings, you're looking at better looks, so gloss and clarity of it. You're looking at better self-cleaning behavior. You're looking at better hydrophobicity. And now we're starting to get into coatings that have some semi-self-healing characteristics to it. Well, what do I mean by that? Unfortunately, you see some information out there of it's self-healing. People think that you're going to be able to put a big gouge on it and it's just going to automatically heal itself up. In reality, it doesn't work like that. Why would you want any kind of self-healing characteristics? Well, if you're not real good in your washing and drying process, which we have videos for that as well on how to properly do that, but if you're not that good on it, you can cause just slight marring in the finish. That's where something like this comes into play. You start adding heat, either from the sun or your hot water over it. It'll help bring those back into place. It bonds back together. But if you get any major things in it, it's not going to heal. There's just no products on the market that have that kind of technology. So that's where Zipang Coat comes into play. And it was designed to be the absolute best of the best. And it was also designed that anybody can use it. So a detailer doesn't have to go into all the expense and all the administrative of being a certified detailer. Now they can get it individually, buy one bottle, buy 5 bottles, however many that you want to buy. But when I say premium product, this is a very premium product. Retail, $319.95 on it, compared to, I believe, $139.95 on the regular ISM. So it is premium, it is at the high price end, but when you're looking for something that's the best of the best, there's plenty of customers out there, plenty of owners, plenty of you DIY people who just want the best kind of product, and that's what you're getting with Zipang. Talking about that, you want to maximize this. A little bit goes a long way with like with all coatings, but you want to make sure, I'm going to give you a little pro safety tip here and learn from our mistakes. This comes with a dropper. It comes shipped like this, but it comes with a dropper in the package you can use for application. One thing that you do not want to do is leave it in there and store it, because what happens, and we'll bring the camera in to get a little bit of close-up, but that turns to crystal inside the package. It's hard as a rock. You've just wasted a couple $100 worth of product. So make sure afterwards you clean off the rim of the jar, you close it back tightly, and you want to keep it in a nice, cool, dry place. This stuff will start to cure as soon as the package is opened. So the quicker you use it, the better. You probably only have about a couple of months before this will go bad, or it'll start to get gel-like, and it'll make it really difficult for application. So use it up, split it with a couple of buddies, do a couple of coats on it to make sure that you maximize what you're doing with it. Okay, so coating. Why do we want to coat a car anyhow? Well, we want long-term protection. Waxing is great. Waxing looks fantastic, and some people just love to wax. But if you don't like to spend that much time, or you want something a lot more durable, then you want to go with something like a coating, like the Zipang Coat. Now, how do you get the best out of it, or how do you get the most out of it? We get a lot of phone calls here at Esoteric about what coating is going to make my car look best. Well, actually, polishing is what's going to make your car look best. Then your coating is the icing on the cake. Yeah, it's going to add some looks itself. It's going to add all the durability. But like with Kamikaze, it's a beginning to end product line in maximizing how your paint looks and how it's protected. You know, well, we've stepped up here at Esoteric. We now have Kamikaze's line of compounds and polishes, which we'll do a separate video on. But it's about prepping that surface and getting the most out of the looks first before you go in and add coating. Do you have to? No. It's not necessary to polish the paint first, but once again, you're going to get the most looks out of it that way before you put on your coating. So you're getting ready to put on your coating. What do you have to do at least? Well, if you've done your polishing steps, the paint is ready. It's just a matter of prepping it. You just want to use something like Geon Prep to strip the surface completely. You want everything off of there. You want squeaky clean surface to coat, because then you get a better bond on it. And when you get a better bond on it, it's the best durability that you're going to get out of it. So at the very least, after you've washed the car, you want to use prep, strip it, and then go to your coating process. That coating process is real similar to the other coatings from Kamikaze. Some coatings out there on the market, I mean, literally, you can only apply to a section this big before you have to remove it, or it starts turning to glue. We have zero desire for a product like that here at Esoteric. We coat a lot of high-end cars. That's how we get all the information, all the testing, all the technical knowledge on how to get the most out of these coatings. So you don't want to have to spend a lot of time doing that. It makes it more difficult, and there's better chances for something messing up. But with Kamikaze coatings, they're far more forgiving, the high ease of use factor on it, and it's the same with Zipang. Now, what I would recommend doing on this, I would probably do one section at a time. You're going to do a hood, then remove. Do the roof, then remove. Do a door, then remove. So by the time you start one section and end, you're ready to come back at the beginning again to start your removal process. Now, when you're applying, it comes with an applicator block and cloth. You can either use the dropper that we're talking about, or what we actually prefer here in the shop. We've got the pipettes. We sell them in, I believe, 10 packs. It's just easy. Put it in here, drop it on the finish, and then these things are disposable afterwards. But you want to load up your pad with product, and as you're applying, you want to keep it in straight lines. We're not going to do any crosshatch pattern on this one. So as I'm going, I'm doing just a little bit of overlap from section to section. I want even coverage on it. You don't want it dripping down. You're using way too much. If it's getting a little bit grabby, you're not using enough product. So just make sure that you get nice straight patterns. Don't be going like this. Be very methodical as you're working your section. Get that nice even coverage. Now, when it comes time to remove it, you want to use a 2-towel system to do it. We like using a tighter nap towel for our initial removal, and then a fluffier one for the second removal. Now that first towel, when you're removing everything, you should get probably 80 or 90% of the residue removed. And when you come back with your second wipe, it'll get the rest of it. And for removal process, we recommend just small, very light circular motion as you're removing everything. And the same when you come back with your secondary wipe. But you want to make sure on your panels, there's a tendency to push product over to adjacent panels. So make sure that you look at those as well when you're doing your removal, so you don't have any extra in there. Because what would happen, especially if it's some of your last panels you're doing and you leave some down at the bottom. It's kind of a dark spot. Once that cures up, that's going to be hard as a rock, and you're going to have to go in with heavy compounding to remove it. So make sure you go around with a flashlight or something to make sure that you've got all the product removed from the surface. Then you want to make sure to keep this dry for a minimum of 24 hours. The longer you can keep it dry, the better. You risk water spotting if it hasn't completely cured. Coatings continue to cure for about a 5-day period, but most of that drying and curing happens in those first 24 hours. Now, you've got a couple of options on here. At Esoteric, we like to talk in terms of good, better, best system. So good would be one coat. Better would be doing a base layer with Kamikaze's Miyabi coat, wait about an hour, come back, do a top layer of Zipang. Best would be a bottom layer of Zipang, a middle layer of Miyabi, and a final layer of Zipang, so kind of a Miyabi sandwich there. Give it about an hour between each coat. Make sure you look at it closely to make sure you don't have any kind of high spots or dark spots that'll come back and haunt you the next day or two when you realize it's there and you can't get the stuff off. So with that final one, the better, the Zipang, Miyabi Zipang, that's going to give you the best self-healing characteristics out of all those three different options. What you don't want to do is you don't want to think, okay, I got to do 3 layers of this. No, I know a lot of companies out there try to get you to do as many layers as possible. It's not necessary. And what you end up running into is they start rejecting itself as you're trying to do the next layers. So that's going to give you the best coverage, the best looks, the best self-healing characteristics is by doing that 3-step system. But you're going to get very, very good results even if that you do one. And another nice thing about Zipang is you can do plastic trim as well. So all your cowling up by your windshield wipers or any other plastic pieces that you have on it, you can coat it. You get really long durability. It's going to protect it, keep it from fading out. Now, you've got your car coated. You want to maintain it. You can't just coat a car and think, hey, I never have to do it again. It was kind of funny early in the coating days. We had detailers everywhere saying, hey, we'll coat your car and you never have to see us again. You never have to touch your car. Well, that's about some of the worst advice ever, telling your customers they never have to come back and see you, but it's not true. You have to maintain the coatings and you have to do it properly. People are going to ask, can I put this product on top of it? Can I put this? Can I add this wax? No. You don't want to do that, because what happens at that point, all those benefits and characteristics you have of Zipang coat, you lose those and you gain whatever is sitting on top of it. So you put some cheap quick detail or quick wax or whatever you want to do, you put that on top of it, you're gaining the characteristics of this and losing here. So why would you do that? You wouldn't. The only thing that you're going to use with this is you're going to use a product like Kamikaze's Overcoat, which is designed to be a maintenance product for their coatings. And you can do it as often as, if you want to do it once a month, that's fine. If you want to wait and do it every 4 or 5 months, that's fine. And I've got a separate video on this. You can just follow the link up here that talks about how to use this and get the most of it. And then additionally, when it comes to washing it, that's another problem. People want to use some kind of shampoo that's got coatings in it or whatever else. No. Once again, stop layering the products. You're not gaining anything. You're probably going backwards. Use just a good pH neutral shampoo. Gion Bathe Essence here is one of our favorites because it's not adding anything to it. It's just cleaning it. I've got a video that we did on how to properly wash and maintain coated cars. Once again, I'll put the link up here in the corner. Read through that or watch the video, because it goes into a lot of great information on do's and don'ts and why we don't use certain kind of products with our coatings. Very spectacular, very high-end product we have here in Zipang. Our very first order that we got in was sold out in less than 24 hours. Our second order that we got in, it was mostly gone in about 48 hours. These, because of the technology and because of the chemistry, these are made in very small batches. We are going to be in out-of-stock situations with this product just because demand is going to exceed supply. So What you can do, if you're interested in the product and you go to our website, esotericcarcare.com, where you can buy this, if it's out of stock, there's a little notify me button that you can subscribe to the product, put your email address in there. That way when they come back in stock, you'll automatically be notified and you can jump on it right then and there, because we don't know how long it's going to be until that product comes back out. So if you're looking for the best of the best, everything that we have to offer, and in the KAMIKAZE Collection line, the new Zipang Coat is it. So if you have any additional questions or comments, leave it below. We'd like to, we love talking about these products. We've got a lot of experience out in our shop, working with it, testing it, customers' cars, our own cars, working directly with Kai Morita from KAMIKAZE Collection in Japan. He flies over here usually at least once a year. We work with him on some training and stuff of this, so we know it real well. So leave the comments, leave the questions. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, because we're constantly updating it with new videos on detailing products, tips, and techniques. Well, that's about all for today. For Zipang Coat, KAMIKAZE, Esoteric Car Care, I'm Todd Cooprider. Thanks. We'll see you again next time.